of me. Have you heard the story about my friend King Dave? Wouldn't let the giant stand in his way. He said, hand me my sling, cause he's not that tall. My God is bigger and I watch him fall. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. Have you heard the one about this guy called Dan? Yes, he was a mighty holy praying man. They said throw him to the den of the scary beasts, but God saved a hero from the lion's teeth. Yeah! My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. This is more than history. You will do the same for me, like Jonah and the whale at sea. When I'm lost and afraid, all alone in the dark, you're with me. Oh, you're with me. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. My God's the king of me.
You're everything.
'Cause you are God, and I am not. And your plans are higher than mine. So I put my trust in the God of love. Every sickness, every tear, every pain, every fear. When it feels like it's the end, you are there. You are there. 'Cause you are God, and I am not. And your plans are higher than mine.
Hi everyone, welcome to Light. Come on in, Holy Spirit. Come even closer. Come fill us more with your love. Yay!
Hi everybody, welcome to Light. It's great to have you joining us again today. How's this week been for you? Have you managed to get out into the sunshine? I've been able to see some lovely flowers. These were given to me. Aren't they pretty? So colourful and so bright. God created these. God created all the plants and all the trees, all the bushes, all living things. And we're going to be learning a bit more about that today. But before we do, why don't we join in singing some songs? We've got a new one today. Hope you enjoy it. Up you jump and let's worship Jesus together.
Every morning when I wake, I get ready, got my armor for the day. I get ready, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. Oh, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. I got the sword of the Spirit, the shield of faith, the belt of truth around my waist. When I feel weak, you make me strong, never back down. I got my God suit on. God suit on. Your saving grace will guard my head. Your righteousness like a bulletproof vest. These good news shoes were made to run, never back down. I got my God suit on, never back down. I got my God suit on. Hey! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Got my hands in the air and your praise on my lips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every battle I face, my God has won. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Got my hands in the air and your praise on my lips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Never back down. I got my God suit on. This way. I know you're with me every step I take. Whoa, this way. I know you're with me every step I take. I got the sword of the Spirit, the shield of faith, the belt of truth around my waist. When I feel weak, you make me strong, never back down. I got my God suit on. Your saving grace will guard my head. Your righteousness like a bulletproof vest. These good news shoes were made to run, never back down. I got my God suit on, never back down. I got my God suit on. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. Have you heard the story about my friend King Dave? Wouldn't let the giant stand in his way. He said, hand me my sling, cause he's not that tall. My God is bigger and I watch him fall. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. Have you heard the one about this guy called Dan? Yes, he was a mighty holy praying man. They said throw him to the den of the scary beasts, but God saved a hero from the lion's teeth. Yeah! My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. This is more than history. You will do the same for me, like Jonah and the whale at sea. When I'm lost and afraid, all alone in the dark, you're with me. Oh, you're with me. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. My God's the king of the giants. My God's the king of the lions. My God's the king of the creatures of the deep. My God's the king of me. My God's the king of me.
Genesis 1, 9 to 13 says this. And God said, let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees tree bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and morning on the third day.
Hi everyone, I'm at a park just outside Harrogate. Thought it might be a good place to have a think about what God did on the third day of creating the world and everything. It said, didn't it, in that reading, that he gathered up the water and he made dry ground appear, and he called it the land. And he called the sea, the water that he'd gathered together, the sea. So we have land and we have sea. Stamp your feet a little bit and feel the solid ground that you're standing on. You might be standing in your living room, but your house is built on the land, on the ground that God created, that he spoke into being. And the ground, when we look at the ground, sometimes we see tarmac, sometimes we see rocks or sand or gravel, or you might see grass that you run along, or rocks. And when we look around at the land, all around the world, there's mountains and fields and jungles, so many different types, so many different things on the ground. But the land is what God made. What did he put in the land? What did it tell us? It said that God spoke into being lots of different types of vegetation. And that means trees and plants and bushes and grasses. Let's have a little look here at some of the vegetation. Let's go for a walk. What can we see? I can see the trees, can you? Oh, right up there too. They're tall trees around here. It's very sunny today. What else can we see? If I turn around, there. Beautiful flowers. He made all the flowers. I wonder how many flowers there are in the world. That would be amazing to know. Do you like facts and figures? There are a few. I've got a few facts and figures for you about the plants and the trees that God created. In Britain, there are 60 or I think it's 60 different types of trees. Oops, I've just walked into another type of tree here. Or is it a bush? Let's see. Let's go in here. This is bamboo. I'm not sure whether it's a tree or a bush, but one of the amazing facts about bamboo is that it can grow up to 88.6 centimetres a day. Isn't that amazing? I wonder if you could find out any interesting, funny facts about trees or plants or grasses, the vegetation that God made. I wonder if you could find any out. In 2020, there were 60,082 varieties of trees known in the world. There were also 1,097 different types of cultivated fruits, and there were about 200,000 identified different types of plants. What amazing facts! God made the trees and the plants in such a really special way that each one of them produces some seeds. Some of the seeds are easy to spot. The seeds on trees, on pine trees, you get pine cones, and in the pine cones are little seeds that fall to the ground so that a new pine tree can grow. In fruit that we eat, it's easy to see some of the seeds. From an apple, right in the middle, you can usually find the pips, and that's the seed in an apple. And if that was planted in this right way, it would produce an apple tree, just like the apple that it came from. It's also easy to see the seeds in a melon. This is a strawberry. I wonder where the seeds are on a strawberry. You have a look. But the amazing fact, the last amazing fact, in an average strawberry, there are about 200 seeds in one strawberry. You have a look at a strawberry and find out where the seeds are. Have a look at other plants and trees and fruits and vegetables and see if you could spot where the seeds are. In the little video that follows next, there are lots of fruits and vegetables that are part of all the wonderful plants and trees and things that God has created that we eat. You shout out if you know some of the names of those fruits and vegetables as you watch the video. Bye for now. Have fun finding out all about interesting facts about plants and trees and bushes. Have fun.
Hello. Look at all these amazing leaves. There's loads of them. Now you might be wondering why I've covered my dining table in different leaves. Well, as we know that on day 3 of creation, God created all the plants and trees and things that grow. So I thought for our craft it would be good to focus on some of these amazing things, and in particular the leaves. Now, when you think of a leaf, lots of people think of something that looks like this sort of shape. When I asked the children in my class at school to draw a leaf, they would draw this shape. But actually, look at how many amazing shapes there are. There are some small ones, some long, thin ones. This one's quite prickly. Some very small ones. Some lovely glossy ones. Some with a wiggly edge. Some very delicate ones. And some a bit jaggedy. And some really large ones. All slightly different colours as well. So, for our craft, I thought we'd look at the detail in God's creation just in these leaves. So let me put my camera down. I'm going to show you what we can make. So I've done some leaf rubbings. Here's one of my attempts. I think if I turn it around you'll be able to see. And I've used a crayon to actually get the imprint of the leaf. So here's what you need. I've got some crayons, but I have taken off the wrapper on the crayons because we're going to use the crayons on their side like that, not on the end. So you need some crayons unwrapped. You need some paper. I'm going to get my paper and I'm going to choose one of my leaves. I think I'm going to choose this one here. And the best thing to do is turn it so it's face down because you get a better imprint that way. So pop it face down, pop your paper over the top. I'm going to choose my crayon and you'll notice I'm going to rub it sideways like this. And you can do it several different directions, so it's that way and then up and down, and you'll get an imprint of the leaf. Now, isn't that amazing? Look at all the detail in that leaf that has come through there. And there's the real leaf underneath. And then what you can do is you can try another leaf, because some of them work better than others. I'm going to try this one now, this oak leaf. So turn it face down, and this time I think I'm going to do it about here. I'm going to choose a different colour. It's quite nice to do them in different colours, because then they really stand out, all the individual different shapes of the leaves. So I'm trying to hold my paper still so it doesn't shift at all. But can you see that lovely oak leaf is coming through there? And there we go. So I went on a little walk down Pinfold Lane in Cookridge, and just for a 10-minute walk I found all of these different types of leaves. And I hope you have lots of fun experimenting and working out which are the ones that give really good imprints and which ones maybe don't give quite so good an imprint. And also really focus on how amazing God's creation is, that all these tiny details are present in all of these leaves. Have fun!
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God,
pray. Dear Lord Jesus, we thank you for what we've learnt today. We thank you for the care and creativity you took in creating our world. And especially today, we think about the land, the plants, and the trees. Thank you that you have created seeds so small, like these, perfectly made to create plants that grow both flowers and fruit. Thank you for the trees, which can give shelter to animals, birds, and humans. And Lord Jesus, help us to look after the beauty that you have created around us. Help us to nurture and grow these plants and trees, to protect natural habitats, and to take seriously our role in caring for your world. Amen.
Thanks for joining us for Light today. See you next time. Goodbye.